Welcome to this episode of My VA Disability Claim. All right, on this episode specifically, we're going to talk about an event that takes place in military service sometimes for women, a hysterectomy, right? This is a significant event, significant medical procedure that takes place that women veterans sometimes experience during service. And, I've filed claims for over 2,000 or so people, right? And during that time, one of the most eye-opening things that I saw was the amount of hysterectomies that have taken place. Um, so what that lets me know is there's a lot of women out here who could be dealing with some of these conditions as a result of that hysterectomy, and they may not be sure whether or not they can file for these conditions, right? So we need to pass this information along. Uh, a topic like this is a little sensitive, right? So not everyone may want to talk about it. So we want to make sure there's information out there on a public platform that everyone can get and can share if need be or use for themselves. But the reality is, if you have a hysterectomy while you're in the service, there are conditions that can result from that hysterectomy, and you can file a claim for those conditions. All right, that hysterectomy. Again, if you have these conditions here, we're talking urinary incontinence, we're talking female sexual arousal disorder, we're talking depression, anxiety, or other mental health conditions, then you can file a claim for these based on that hysterectomy, right? Due to the hysterectomy, these conditions have resulted. And again, the reason we're doing this one is because in my personal experience, I've seen many women who've had this hysterectomy, right, and then have filed for different conditions as a result of it, and they didn't know about each of these, right? Maybe they filed for one, but not all three. And the female sexual arousal disorder, that's one that I just kind of started to learn about recently, right? And that could, result from the hysterectomy as well. So again, just trying to pass this information along. With the urinary incontinence, keep in mind that it's rated by the time in between urinating, or how many times you have to wake up in the middle of the night to urinate, or how often do you have to change those absorbent materials, right? If you have the absorbent materials, how often do you have to change those absorbent materials? And then in terms of those mental health conditions, again, that anxiety, that depression, insomnia, whatever the case may be, if you're dealing with these things and you've had a hysterectomy, uh, chances are excellent that you should be filing a claim for those conditions, right? So you can get the medical coverage first and foremost, and then that compensation as well, right? At whatever rating, the evidence shows that you have. But you do want to get these conditions addressed. Again, we understand that, it's a little sensitive to talk about. It may even be a little uncomfortable to talk about. But the reality is, millions of people can benefit from this information. That's the reality, right? So that's why we have to put this information out here. Again, if you've had a hysterectomy and you're experiencing any of these conditions, you should file a claim, right, for those conditions as a result of that hysterectomy. All right, and again, for me, it was eye-opening to see, how common this thing was. So I know for a fact there's a lot of folks out here dealing with this, could be suffering from these conditions, and could not know that they can file a claim for it, right? They may have these conditions, had the hysterectomy, but man, I never knew I could, right? So that's what we're here for, to pass along this information. You can pause it and just, take a snapshot of this thing and then take the information down and go file your claim. We have that course as well. We have the guidebook as well. But most importantly, get this information. And as always, learn the information, use the information, and if you deem it to be valuable, share the information. Thank you.